The year was 2006. In the late afternoon sun, the entire village of Kanpoi in Mizoram gathers around a wooden local primary school shed. They look over the hills at Aswal, glittering in the distance. It is 100 kilometers and a world away from the state capital, separated by miles and miles of devastated crops and dried bamboo forests. A village elder starts praying, Lord, give us the strength to survive this mautam, this famine unleashed on us due to bamboo flowering. In dozens of even more remote villages across Mizoram, no one can ignore the frightening legend of flowering of the bamboo. They say that when the bamboo flowers once every 48 years, it brings along with it death and destruction and suffering. In the fertile southernmost state of northeast of India, not a single paddy stalk had been harvested in Kanpoi and rest of Mizoram as well in the year 2006 to 2008. Today we are going to speak about one such ecological phenomena which occurs every 48 to 50 years, mautam. Mautam in Mizo for bamboo death, that is, Mao means bamboo, Tam means death, is a cyclic ecological phenomena that occurs every 40 to 50 years in northeastern Indian states of Mizoram and Manipur. About 31% of total area of Mizoram is covered with thick bamboo forests, housing 26 species of bamboo. One particular species, the Melocaena bificaria, accounts for 90% of bamboo forests found in northeastern states. Once every 48 years, the bamboo flowers and bears fruit and dries completely to give rise to new plants. The fruit from this plant has 50% starch content, which serves to increase the reproductive capabilities of rats that feed on it. After flowering, the bamboo dies and regenerates from the seeds. The rodents feast on these seeds, which are plentiful. As a consequence, a sudden boom in rat population occurs. The action of bamboo is thought to be an ecological control mechanism, that is predator cetacean. The seeds of any clump of bamboo that might flower off cycle are eaten by rodents, thus reinforcing the rhythm of this extreme version of mass year. Some experts believe the flower has a positive effect on the fertility of rats as well as increasing the viable size of rat litter. All available explanations point to the fact that the increase in the numbers during the peak year is a natural after effect of flowering of bamboos. However, once they exhaust this temporarily abundant food supply, the rats turn their attention to cultivated crops. This event is followed invariably by a plague of black rats in what is called a rat flood. This occurs as the rats multiply in response to a temporary windfall of seeds and leave the forest to forage on stored grain when the bamboo seeds are exhausted, which in turn causes devastating famine. Famines thus caused have played a significant part in shaping the region's political history. The most recent spate of flowering on the bamboo species genetically linked timetable began in May 2006, and the state government and the Indian Army attempted to prevent the famine. Records from the British Raj indicate that Mizoram suffered famine in 1862 and again in 1911. After the region witnessed similar bamboo flowering, in each case the records suggest that the flowering of the bamboo leads to a dramatic increase in the local rat population. The increase led to raids on granaries and destruction of paddy fields and subsequently to a year-long famine. During mautam, rat gives birth to over a dozen offsprings in a month, and within a year the entire rodent population multiplies over a dozen times and begin to eat anything it can find. Usually, rats begin to eat with rice fields. Farmers have tried every other kind of crop, from brinjal to soya and even bitter gourd, but with little luck against the rats. During 1959 famine, they had not attacked underground crops such as ginger, turmeric and yam. But during the 2006 mautam, they have not only attacked these but have been found nibbling on bamboo matted floors inside the houses. Experts reckon the rodent population in the state could be well 10 times the human one. During the mautam in 1959, Mizoram was just another district of Assam, and its food shortages were initially ignored by the state government as exaggerated and local superstition. The 1958 and 1959 mautam resulted in record deaths of at least 100 people, besides heavy loss to human property and crops. An estimated 2 million rats were killed and collected by locals after a bounty of 40 paisa was placed on each. However, even after the increase in the rat population was noted, preparations by the government to avoid a famine were limited. Worsening conditions led to formation of Mizo National Famine Front under Lal Denga, one of Mizoram's biggest heroes, set up to provide relief to far-flung areas. In March 1960, the name of Mizo Cultural Society was changed to Mautam Front. During the famine of 1959-60, this society took a lead in demanding relief and managed to attract attention of all sections of the country. In September 1960, the society adopted the name of Mizo National Famine Front. The Mizo National Famine Front gained considerable popularity as large number of Mizo youth assisted in transporting rice and other essential commodities to interior villages. In 1966, the Mizo National Front began an underground movement for setting up an independent Mizo nation. The Mizo National Famine Front dropped the word famine and a new political organization, the Mizo National Front, was born on 22nd October 1961 under the leadership of Lal Denga with a specified goal of achieving sovereign independence of Greater Mizoram. And large-scale disturbances broke out on 28 February 1966 on government installations at Aswal, Lung Lei and other places simultaneously. While Mizo National Front took to violence to secure its goal of establishing sovereign land, and other political forces in hills of Assam were striving for a separate state. The search for political solution to the problems facing the hill regions in Assam continued. The Mizo National Front was outlawed in 1967. The demand for statehood was gained a fresh momentum. A Mizo District Council-led delegation, which met Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi in May 1971, demanded a full-fledged state for the Mizo. The Union government in its own offered the proposal of turning Mizo Hills into a Union territory in July 1971, and the Mizo leaders were ready to accept the offer on the condition the status of Union territory would be upgraded to statehood sooner rather than later. The Union territory of Mizoram came into being on 21st January 1972. Mizoram got 2 seats in parliament, one in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. In February 15, 1985, Lal Denga met the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi for some continuous issues which could not be resolved previously. New Delhi felt the Mizo problem had been dragging on for a long time, while Mizo National Front was convinced that bidding farewell to arms to live a respectable Indian citizen life was the only way of achieving peace and development. Statehood was prerequisite to implementing of the accord signed between the Mizo National Front and the Union government on 30th June 1986. The document was signed by Lal Denga on behalf of Mizo National Front and Union Home Secretary R.D. Pradhan on behalf of Government of India, and Lal Khama, Chief Secretary of Mizoram, to sign the agreement. The MNF volunteers came out of their hiding and surrendered arms to makeshift bamboo huts up for the purpose at Parwa and Marpara. A total of 614 activists gave themselves up in less than 2 weeks in July. Large quantities of small and big firearms, including machine guns and rifles, were received from them. While the MNF kept its part of bargain, the centre initiated efforts to raise the status of Mizoram to a full-fledged state. A constitution amendment bill and another to confer statehood on Mizoram was passed on Lok Sabha on 5th August in 1986. The formalization of Mizoram state took place on 20th February 1987. Chief Secretary Lal Khama read out the proclamation of the statehood at public meeting organized at Aswal Parade Ground. Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi flew into Aswal to inaugurate the new state. Hiteshwar Sakya was appointed as the governor of Mizoram. The first signs of 2006 Mautam were visible on Kanpoi's destroyed fields. In the year 2006, no household has been able to harvest even 2 tins of rice. The locals did not even have money for their daily needs. The state government ran a food for work program only for 10 days in the entire year, effectively raising the household income up to rupees 1000. As early as 1998, late Padma Shri C. Rockam, also called the Pied Piper of Aswell, had warned the government to institute a scheme to collect rat tails and burn them, hoping that it would act as an incentive for villagers to capture rats. The scheme was discontinued after a few months because the government was not convinced that Mautam was such a serious threat. In 2006, almost all of Mizoram and parts of Manipur and Tripura were reeling under acute food shortages due to Mautam. Rokuma's scheme was renewed, and while he presided over burning out 20,000 rat tails in a week and over 4 lakh rat tails in a month, he believed it was not enough. The then 90-year-old naturalist and social worker feared the writing was on the wall. The flowering, which started on 2006, had already dried up most of the areas, but its worst effects were felt years later. Rokuma explained that the rats attack the crops because they don't have enough bamboo fruit to feast on. It will take at least 3 to 5 years for the rats to die when they contract liver alignments due to indigestible food. Towards the end, the rats will start eating their own offspring. But until then, Mizoram will see no harvest. The only solution is to kill the rats, but we are already late, he said. Under the Bamboo Flowering and Famine Combat Scheme, he addressed the issue with improved methods to kill rats and started a Food for Work program where an individual can earn up to rupees 100 a day. The Chief Minister of Mizoram, Zoramthanga, a former guerrilla leader and Lal Denga's right-hand man, made preparations for the predicted 2006 Mautam for 2 years. He had written to the Prime Minister about Mizoram's needs at that moment. At least 10,000 metric ton of rice per month. The amount is nothing and we are ready to buy it at above poverty line rate. The whole population of Mizoram would fit into one street of Delhi or Kolkata, he said. Then came a warning from the Chief Minister to the power brokers thousands of miles away in Delhi. If the government of India faced this time, it would give rise to second insurgency. Even now 90% of Mizos want independent nation, he said. In June 2006, the Indian Army was pressed into service as an emergency measure to assist state administration in reaching remote areas. The state administration arranged for alternative food crops to be grown locally and also arranged for the army to provide instruction on pest control. Villagers were encouraged to grow turmeric, ginger, and partially as an insurance against variation in purchasing power and also because the aromatic spices ward off the rodent raids, but it was all in vain. The 2006 Mautam ended on 2009, but the state is still reeling under its after effects. Mautam had affected 1,41,825 agrarian families in the state, and as per government estimate, it had destroyed 67,20,198 worth of crops between the year 2006 to 2008. Regular rodent outbreaks associated with bamboo flowering and subsequent fruiting and seeding also occur in nearby Indian states of Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur and Nagaland, as well as in Laos, Japan, Madagascar and South America. The next Mautam is due on 2054.